I did not know English. I was a small boy. I lived in a village. I spoke only my mother tongue. I did not know English. I went to school. My teacher spoke in English. I did not understand anything. I was scared. In English class, I sat quietly. The teacher asked questions. I looked down. I said nothing. The teacher said, "Why are you silent?" I wanted to cry. I felt small. My friends could speak English. They said, "Hello," and "How are you?" I did not answer. I did not know the words. I was sad. I thought, I can never learn. I went home. My father saw me. He asked, "What happened?" I said, "Papa, I do not know English." He said, "It is okay. You can learn." I said, "But it is hard." He said, "I will help you." The next day, my father gave me a book. It had pictures and easy words. He said, "Read 1 page daily." I said, "Okay, Papa." I opened the book. The first page said, "This is a cat." I read it. I smiled. Every day, I read 1 page. The next day, I read 2 pages. Then 3. Then 5. I saw new words. I said them loudly: dog, ball, tree. I was learning. I started speaking small words. At school, I said, "Good morning." I said, "My name is James." My teacher smiled. My friends smiled. I was happy. At home, I stood in front of a mirror. I said, "Hello. My name is James. I am a boy." I looked at myself. I smiled. I said, "I can do it." I took a notebook. I wrote 1 word each day. Day 1, apple. Day 2, ball. Day 3, cat. I wrote the meaning in my language. I read the words again and again. I watched English videos. They had pictures and words. A man said, "This is a pencil." I looked at my pencil. I said, "This is a pencil." I learned fast. At school, I asked my teacher, "Ma'am, what is this word?" She said, "It is window." I said, "Thank you." She said, "Good question, James." I read. I wrote. I spoke. I listened. Every day I learned something. I made mistakes. But I did not stop. I said, "I will try again." We had an English test. I was afraid. I wrote slowly. I wrote what I knew. The next day, the teacher gave my paper. She said, "Good, James." I passed. One day, a boy came. He was new. He said, "Hi. I am Tom." I said, "Hello. I am James." We became friends. We spoke in easy English. We helped each other. I started a diary. I wrote 1 line each day. I am happy. I went to school. I saw a dog. My words grew. My lines grew. I listened to English songs. The songs were slow. I sang with them. I love my school. I love my books. I smiled. I sang every day. My teacher gave me a storybook. It was easy. It had pictures. It said, "The boy runs." The dog runs. I read it in one day. Then I read more books. One day, my friend said, "Let's talk in English today." I said, "Okay." We said, "How are you?" We said, "I am fine." We laughed. We felt proud. At school, we made a group. 4 students. We read together. We spoke together. We helped each other. We were not afraid. We said, "Let's speak English." One day, my teacher said, "James, come to the front." I went. She said, "Speak about your family." I said, "I have a small family. My father is kind. My mother cooks food." The teacher smiled. The class clapped. I went to the library. There were many books. I picked a small book with pictures. The title was The Red Ball. The first line was, "A boy has a red ball." I read the whole book. I understood. I was happy. I used English at home. I said, "Good morning, Papa." I said, "Thank you, Mummy." I said, "I like rice." My parents smiled. My sister said, "I want to learn too." My sister said, "Teach me English." I gave her my book. She read, "This is a cat." I clapped. We read together every night. I went to a shop. I said, "1 pencil, please." The shopkeeper smiled. He said, "Good English." I was proud. We got a new teacher. She said, "Speak with love." We played word games. We sang songs. I liked her class. The teacher said, "Write 5 lines about family." I wrote, 1. My name is James. 2. I have a small family. 3. My father is kind. 4. My mother cooks food. 5. I have one sister. She said, "Very good." We had a play. I said one line, "Welcome to our play." Everyone clapped. I was proud. My father said, "Watch the news." I said, "I don't understand." He said, "Try." The newsman said, "It is a sunny day." I understood. The teacher said, "Write a letter." I wrote, "Dear Tom, how are you? I am fine. I like English. Your friend, James." It was my first letter in English. The teacher said, "James will help with words." I said, "This is a blackboard." Others repeated. I helped them. My sister said, "Read me a story." I read slowly. A frog jumps. A bird flies. She laughed. I smiled. We read every night. School had English Day. We said, "Please pass the ball." "May I drink water?" "Thank you." I spoke well. I was happy. The principal gave a note. "James speaks well. Keep going." My parents hugged me. My mother cried. She said, "You did it." Now I have a dream. I want to be an English teacher. I want to help children. I will say, "Don't be scared." I was like you, dear friend. I did not know English. I was scared. But I tried. I learned slowly. Now I speak. You can too. Read daily. Speak daily. One day you will say, "I speak English." If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends.